Yes, welcome to another video of ours. Welcome to another video of mine on my ginger farming process or journey for the year 2026. I want to point out one very important thing today, show you the advantages and some of the disadvantages of that practice in ginger farming, and that is deep planting. Deep planting has some advantages, deep planting has some disadvantages. Now let's begin with the disadvantage before we highlight the most the advantage of deep planting. Now, on this very farm, I have ginger that are already, this grown. Yes, you can see this one is very visible on the surface. It has emerged fully and is ready to, advance to the next stage of growth. And so are others. You can see the rest, you can see them. Yes, so from the last video I said we were going to take out these branches because they've shedded their leaves, but then we thought it wise to allow them for now, since the ginger is still coming up, so that breeze does not come and blows off the leaves that are mulching the surface and expose the ground directly to the scorching heat of the sun. So let me show you something. Just imagine how grown these other ginger plants are, and then look at how tiny this one is looking. Just look at how tiny this guy is still tender. In fact, he emerged not too long from beneath the earth's surface. I want us to dig and see how deep this ginger was planted. You will now see the disadvantage of deep planting, which is delayed emergence. When you plant too deep, it delays emergence. It delays the emergence of your ginger. And ensure if you're planting on a field, you plant at an equal depth. Do not plant some at a shallow level and others too deep. You will have how do I put it? Words fail me now, but then your emergence will not be at the same period. They are not going to emerge at the same time. Some will delay or will be delayed due to the depth of planting, and others will emerge earlier due to the how shallow they were planted. And this will affect some of your maintenance processes during the planting or cultivation season. So this is one, and I really want us to dig and see how deep it was planted. I hope you can see how deep. And we didn't use raised beds. We planted on ridges. Sorry, on the flat surface. Okay, just imagine how deep this ginger was planted. You can see the roots. Imagine how deep this ginger was planted. Just imagine how deep. I'm careful so it doesn't break off. Yes, this is how deep this guy was planted, and that is why I see the roots. You can see touching. Yes, that's how deep this particular seedling was planted, and then it took it so much time to grow through from here. Just imagine the length before it got to this point where the greens began to show, and that is the level of the earth's surface. If we had increased it, it would have grown upwards that way. That was what delayed the emergence of this particular seedling. So deep planting delays emergence, especially if all the ginger on the field, the ginger seedlings, are not planted at the same depth. If you have variances in your depth of planting, you will have delayed emergence in some of those seedlings. So, but there's one advantage to this depth. This is what we call healing in ginger farming, or earthing up. That is when you come to gather sand or soil at the base of the finger, the ginger finger or the germinated or emerged rhizome. So what this means is when you add or you compact soil, you bring soil together at the base, it helps in the formation of the rhizomes. It, because ginger grows upwards, so it makes the rhizomes longer, gives them more space under the soil to grow longer. So that is one advantage. That is what healing or earthing up means. And if you plant deep, you might not need to earthing up, because these guys are already deep enough, and the next set of finger will germinate from here, and then you see how far it has to grow. All these whitish things you are seeing, in the end, this white you are seeing will form a rhizome. And so imagine the length. Do you understand? So that is one advantage of deep planting. And if you want to, another disadvantage is you might lose the mother rhizome, because ginger rhizomes do not rot like yams after when they are planted, except this a disease outbreak. So when harvest comes, you will harvest both new rhizomes and also the old mother rhizome that you planted. But if it was planted too deep, it might be lost in the soil. You might not be able to find it when when harvesting. So these are the few advantages and disadvantages of deep planting in ginger farming. So I wish you all the best in the field, and thank you so much for watching. If you've not subscribed, please ensure you subscribe to the channel. This encourages us to keep doing what we do, to keep sharing knowledge, to help those who are into ginger farming or who intend to go into ginger farming. Agriculture is amazing. It is a gift from God to the common man. The common man or a poor man does not need any form of connection to become wealthy through agriculture. Agriculture is God's gift to man, the simplest way out of poverty. I encourage everyone to engage himself in 1 or 2 or even 3 agricultural processes, whether crop production, animal production, value addition, whether agribusiness or agro trading, whatever it is. Just ensure you are hooked up in one of these things, and I tell you, you will have no business and no relationship with poverty. The land is green. We trust God for a bountiful harvest. So, and we also said we were going to do some spraying, but we also decided to hold on to give them 1 more week, because some of them are still emerging. That's from the last video. Now we said we were going to spray. We want to give them 1 more week. Some of them are still emerging from the ground, and that is because of that drought we experienced during that season. And then some were planted too deep and some were planted shallow, and then those that were on shallow emerged quickly. And so they emerged quickly, and then those that were planted too deep had to experience delayed emergence, because there was a 48 day period of drought after they were planted. So like this guy that is emerging, we have another one here. See, they are still emerging. They're so young, so young. There's another one here, still emerging from the earth's surface. And then in this period, you have to be careful on how you step your feet into the ginger farm, because it is possible that you break off these ones that are emerging, and also it is also possible that you cause the soil to compact and ginger ones lose soil to thrive properly. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, keep following, and I'll keep giving you my updates, my lessons, my failures, my successes in this whole engagement and enterprise. Thank you so much, and God bless you for subscribing and for watching.